had another thought along the lines of life is clinging. That was about rules being loving. Really, it's about the return to normalcy, if you can call it normalcy. But yeah, I work with volunteers, and among the volunteers, we rotate through to different jobs. And one of the jobs is watching over the people in the wait hall, in the waiting room. And there, the responsibility of the volunteer is to look after the health of the people waiting. So you wait 15 minutes to a half an hour, depending on your health and history and experience with the vaccine. You wait 15 minutes after you receive your vaccine before you can leave. It's a large, pleasant room with a nice view, and there's nothing difficult about waiting 15 minutes generally. People do it often beforehand, so doing it after, but it's a loving rule. One of my colleagues said that, yeah, most people, and he was surprised, most people wait their proper 15 minutes. Now, we have a system where you get a number, and that number's for when you register to come in, and that number is for which place you go to get your vaccine, and that same number on your little ticket is when you get to leave, and it comes up on a screen, your 15 minutes is up, and it starts counting when you have received your vaccine, and you leave the vaccinator, and you go into the wait hall, and then your number comes up on the screen. Now, if you're sick, or you feel bad, or you have a lot of pain in that 15 minutes or so after you have your vaccine, well then a doctor comes and talks to you and checks it out. And it's the volunteer's job to kind of watch over everybody. Often they answer a lot of questions. Where do I validate my parking ticket? And many other questions. Most people wait quietly, and sometimes the waiting place is full of many people. Probably well more than 50 people are sitting waiting for their time to be up. There's lots of space between all the chairs. It's a huge hall with a huge volume of air moving. So that's not a problem. But occasionally somebody doesn't want to wait. And even if the volunteer explains all the reasons, the person wants to leave early. They want to just get out of there. They've had their vaccine, they've got what they came for, and they want to leave. But this volunteer remarked to me tonight, he said, I'm surprised how orderly everybody is. How they come and keep their distance, they come in orderly, they keep their appointments, they're polite, they don't give any problems, they wait their 15 minutes, and they leave happily. And yeah, in this world, the majority, they're happy to get their vaccine. And you know, we live in a messy world with a lot of problems, but isn't it wonderful when people do what's good for them? Now, imagine if that person who wanted to leave quick has a reaction and they faint or have something worse happen, and people have to rush to their aid. Well, now they're in not such a good place. Maybe they're behind the driving wheel of their auto, or maybe they're in a bus. Or first of all, it could inconvenience a lot of people. So because they didn't wait, it might be a problem for others. Then emergency people have to come and deal with that, probably some health official or some medical person. They're already there at the vaccination center, but if it happens out in the parking, then they're taking their attention away from the larger group. You see, the rule of 15 minutes actually is kind for everybody. It's kind for everybody in the hall. It's kind for the person who doesn't have the mishap out. And that's kind of nice. And what's really nice is people don't put up a fuss about it. They do what they're told, for the most part. And that goes better for everybody. And I just thought, wow, isn't it nice when people understand that volunteers are trying to protect them even from having a bad reaction. And it's a nice thing. And I'm happy to be part of it. So I hope when you get your turn and you have to wait your 15 minutes, you'll do it politely and say thank you to the people who are looking after you. And you'll enjoy a little bit of love. That's what I was thinking. Good night.